Hi, I'm Matt Sweetwood, and I want to talk to you today about a very sensitive topic, and that's how to deal with being alone. It happens to all of us at times in our life when we find ourselves alone, sometimes for a short period, sometimes for longer periods. Maybe we have a situation where we have a spouse that goes away on a trip, a relationship ends, we have to be away ourselves on a long business trip. Maybe your significant other is in the military. There's lots of reasons why we can end up alone in our life. And I found that my own weaknesses, my own fear of being alone led me to bad places. It led me into a relationship with a woman who ended up leaving me and our children. And I had to raise children as a single dad. It led me to a lot of very, very difficult circumstances along the way and a lot of pain. And I think there are things now that I've learned along the way that can help you get through. And it's not even just get through, it's learning to love being alone. And now I'm in a very successful relationship. I have a very successful company that I'm running here in Miami called Lux Now. I have successful speaking career, and which means I'm out in front of people very often. But there are many times, even when I travel to speak, that I'm alone. So these are the things that I do in order to make my time alone extremely enjoyable. In fact, I could say that I love my time alone. So the number one thing for me is to get in shape. So when I'm alone and I don't have my significant other around me, I don't have anybody else, I can eat like I want, I can exercise when I want, and I always put an emphasis on that. I was 300 pounds at one time in my life. I got myself in shape, and I always want to be in that position. Some things that happen, I know that when I'm away, I was just recently speaking in Las Vegas, and something I always wanted to do was kind of just be in Vegas alone, walk the strip, go to a show. I'm not a gambler or a drinker or anything like that, but it was really interesting. So I was in Vegas and I went to a Circus Soleil all by myself. It's something just to really do something that I hadn't done in a long time or haven't done in a while. Maybe you want to go skydiving or whatever, go see a spaceship launch, which we just had recently. But whatever it is, obviously, the thing that people always talk about when you're alone is travel. And I really enjoy traveling alone. It's wonderful to travel with your significant other, but sometimes just traveling alone is very meaningful. I'm into photography, and being alone, you can stop and take pictures of what you want and when you want without people kind of sending you along. Another thing that was really beneficial for me when I was alone was learning to express myself. And in my case, that came out in the form of writing. I've written hundreds of articles. One, as a matter of fact, when I'm talking to you now, was the basis of an article. I wrote a best-selling book, Leader of the Pack. Maybe for you, it's paint. It could be any kind of thing that allows you to express yourself. The other thing that's really cool when you're alone, particularly if you're living alone, is you can arrange your house any way you want. Move the furniture, do anything you want. And sometimes that's really cool because it gives a personal touch. Um, in terms of going out, I really find that when I'm alone, I get to go out and eat. But I go out to eat for fun. Like I've been with women who, let's say, didn't like to eat Thai food, and so when I'm alone, I go out and I eat Thai food. I don't particularly like Thai food that much, but sometimes I go out and I'll eat Thai food or I'll do whatever it is that I want to do. The other thing that I really like to do when I'm alone, and even though I'm in Miami now, and it's not as prevalent here, when I was in New York and I was alone, I would network several times a week. It's great for self esteem. It's great for your business. It's great for your personal brand. It's great for all of those things. And networking, if you do it right, is always something that can be beneficial for you. The next thing that I like to do when I'm alone is, and I found this when I had moved into New York City several years ago, was get involved with charity. I ended up being chairman of the board of two nonprofits, and there's nothing that is better than helping other people. And when you get to put yourself in a position where you have the time to do that, it is the most rewarding thing you can do. So I highly recommend getting involved in charity when you're alone. There's nothing that will pick up your spirits and make you love being alone more than that. And then finally, which is my lesson in a lot of cases for finding happiness, and it's not just about being alone, is finding gratitude. I lived a great life. I have a very successful career. I've done wonderful things. I have beautiful adult children. I have a grandchild. I have good health. I live in America. There's all sorts of things you can be grateful for. And I make a daily list of gratitude that I go over. I know that sounds a little cliche, but if you do that, you're really going to find happiness. So I gave you a lot of tips today on how to find happiness, how to love being alone, which you'll surely find in your life. It'll prevent you from making bad decisions about relationships. If you love being alone, you won't be desperate to get into one. So I highly recommend you follow what I told you, learn to love being alone. You're going to have a successful and happier life. I'm Matt Sweetwood, and I hope today's discussion makes your life and business better.